All right. All right. We have just a few more pages of this chapter 9. I'm saving this here. But also, we're going to go into term review. And then it's also streaming live on our YouTube for you to go back and study preparation for any exam. So let's picking up on 191 facial proportions. So although we talk about hairstyling is also you analyzing the facial shape, some of the facial features, whether we're zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, minimizing those things that our client feels that they don't want to come to the forefront, and then also enhancing those things you're really going. I think we got people coming in the room. Hold on one moment. There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come in the room. It's a roll call. We've already started. I'm just jumping back over. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So as I was stating, hairstyling it involves not just you learning a technique, but you also implementing what works well for your client. Okay. Finding out what do they like about their hair or their features. What do they want spotlighted? And then what are those things also that they want to conceal, they want to minimize? Okay. So just like contouring is done in makeup, we also would do that in hairstyles as well. So when it talks about facial proportions, it says understanding facial features and proportions make it easier to analyze each face. Okay. And I'm going to put that in yellow. It says you can then apply the design principles you have learned to implement facial shapes. All right. To complement facial shapes. So no matter what your client is going on, you should be able to tell them what style works best for them. Okay. We divide the face um, into 3 sections, and I'm going to highlight that in blue, doing an analysis. So remember, dividing the face into 3 sections is one way to do the analysis. You don't want to look the whole thing all together. All right. The top third of the face is going to analyze in the top third of the face. Helps determine style options based on shape and size of the forehead. This is also, you guys are going to come into fruition when you begin to give clients haircuts. Okay. Clients will say, I want the best cut for my face. What do you think works for my face? So on and so on and so on. You looking at their forehead, you're looking at their chin, and things of that nature is going to help you determine what cut is best for their face. Okay. Um, the top third of the face, analyzing the top third of the face helps determine style options. Top third, we're talking about forehead. Okay. Wide forehead, direct hair forward over the sides of the forehead. So you'll probably you have a bang fringe area, but you'll be a little longer. You have some length up here. Okay. A narrow forehead, direct away from the face. This is also just like a repeat action of when we looked at shop door, the facial shapes. Okay. So we're talking about a diamond facial shape. That has a smaller, narrow forehead. And so pull the hair off the face and that opens up the forehead. Okay. Pull the hair off of the face, it opens up that forehead area, makes it seem bigger. Same thing goes for people who are smaller and petite in structure, but they have, really, really a lot of density, really, really um, curly, let's say for instance, curly textured hair. Um, if the curl was loosened and also projected away from the face instead of just all over the face, just let it hang in the face itself will look a little larger. Okay. So you want to get the illusion of width. Width is basically wide. Okay, you want to give the illusion of width, and so this is someone who has um, a narrow face. Also, if you were doing hair color, we talked yesterday about the money piece, the little blonde piece. The money piece will brighten up a particular area. Blonde highlights brighten up a particular area. So if you're talking about a narrow forehead, I would definitely do blonde highlights around the front and the sides. Okay, maybe some baby lights, but that the highlights are gonna make that area illuminate that area, make that area look a little bigger. All right, receding forehead, receding forehead. Okay, if the client desires, direct bangs overhead with an outward directed volume. So we will swoop it out. Okay, we will swoop it out. So heavy bang and tilt over to the side, either left or right, minimizing the receding part of the forehead. Large forehead, bangs with little or no volume. We do not need to add more volume, but definitely you can have bangs that are unactivated. Unactivated texture means that it is straight or they are smooth. Okay. Activated texture means that the hair has some kind of curl or wave pattern to it. So when you hear someone that says, "Hey," and they're probably going to be teaching, texture can be activated and it could be non-activated. Okay, so they're saying here with a large forehead, you want to have bring the hair over, cover the forehead in the bang area, but reduce the volume. All right, so non-activated, maybe smooth, maybe straight. The middle third of the face, and when you see, okay, y'all, this is one of y'all classmates. Hold on a moment. All right, guys, I'm back. All right, so you're gonna see uh, top third, middle third, bottom third. Okay, the face is broken up into three parts. Okay, broken up into three parts. The first part is going to include the forehead area. The second part is going to include the eyes and the nose. Okay, eyes and the nose. All right, and so we're always, when you're looking at analysis and you're looking at someone and trying to figure out what style works best, what color works best, you're going to break their face up into three sections. All right, so you'll always check out the forehead area. Okay, so you want to find out what kind of bang They're going to do, if they do a bang. And now we're going to check out the middle third of the face. Sometimes we call zone 2, okay, depending on who you're talking to. And that's going to look at the eyes and nose. All right. So a lot of times, especially during the pandemic, we wore a mask, and people were saying that's when they paid a lot of attention to their brows and to their eyes. Okay, they would say you ain't got to have on nothing else, but if they made sure the brows were done and they made sure that the eyelashes looked amazing, and so that got a real boost during that particular time. And so now I feel like the eyes have it. The eyes have it. If you can lock in on what it accentuates the eye area, you pretty much sold the rest of the face. People are looking in the eyes for clarification, for confidence, okay? But at the same time, they're also looking for balance, okay? And so let's look at now our attention is onto the brows and the lashes. Close set eyes, okay? Close set eyes. These eyes are closer together. You probably have never noticed that there would be a such thing as wide set eyes, which means your eyes are further apart. All right. You're supposed to be able to put two fingers in between the eyebrows. All right. It's two fingers are supposed to cover the nose, and then two fingers width away from the eye area. Anytime you can do 3 to 4 fingers, and that's most people. Anytime you could get 4 fingers in there, you have a wide set eye. Wide set eyes are going to also equal to larger foreheads or wider facial shapes, such as a square or an oblong. Okay. Also, a round face could contribute to wide set eyes. Let's look at close. Clients with close set eyes usually have a narrow face. All right. Long, narrow face reminds us of oblong facial shape or rectangular facial shape. Okay. You will need to add, you will need to soften those edges. All right. You do not want your client to go out with pointed edges. Okay, so rectangular shape has 4 points, strong points. Okay, you would need to soften it. A bang, a wispy bang, or a fringe or swoop bang that just has that soft that flips over to the side or just hangs over to the side is amazing. But you got to make sure that the bottom 2 corners in the chin, cheek area, chin jaw area is softened as well. Okay, so close set eyes can also be attached to oblong facial shapes. All right, direct the hair back and away from the face at the temples, a side movement with a diagonal part. Okay, so we said swoop over to the side, so no middle part, but definitely a side part, diagonal. With some height is advisable. So adding some curls, some type of texture would be there to soften up. Slight hair lighting at the corners of the eyes would give the illusion of width. All right. And so adding some highlights on the side or the temporal area will give you width, illusion of width. Wide set eyes, clients with wide set eyes usually have a round or square face. So as we stated before, round or square face. Okay. To add length to the face and make the eyes appear proportioned. That's what we want to do. That's the whole objective. A higher half bang. Okay. So you may have feathery, put some rollers in it. It has a little height to it. The hair should be slightly darker at the sides than the top. Okay. So definitely top, you can probably add some highlights and you darken on the sides to minimize. The same thing contouring of the face. Okay. So you will contour with hair color. Crooked nose, asymmetrical, off-center styles are flattering as they attract the eye away from the nose. So here's the thing. Asymmetric, I want you to learn is asymmetric, symmetrical. All right. Asymmetric. Just say we have a bob. Let's just take the bob. Bobs can be asymmetric and bobs can be symmetric. Okay. When you have a bob that's even all the way around, it's even all the way around. That's symmetric. When you have a bob that's asymmetric, it's where it's longer on one side and shorter on the other side. Okay. So they say it's for a crooked nose, go for asymmetric, something that is off center. These styles are flattering as they attract the eye away from the nose. Yeah, we got something going on with the nose, but the hair takes away from it because they're seeing this other point trying to figure out what that is and hadn't even looked at the nose. Okay. Symmetric styles accentuate the face's uneven. So a balanced bob is going to bring attention to the crooked nose. If you learn none today, you learn what symmetric and asymmetric is. Okay? Wide, flat nose. Draw the hair away from the face and use the center part to help elongate and narrow the nose. Draw the hair away from the face and use the center part to help elongate and narrow the nose. All right. So we pull the hair back. We have a center part. It is going to bring the nose in thinner. Okay. Bring the nose in thinner. So it's a wide, flat nose. All right. Stay away from styles that are tapered close to the head on the side. So short, male barber cuts is going to be not recommended. Middle parts or too much hair directed toward the face, it accentuate any long, narrow features. So which means middle parts or too much hair directed toward the face accentuate any long, narrow pieces. Instead, select a style where the hair moves away from the face. All right. You want an illusion of a wider face, which will match the wider nose. All right. So it's telling you no middle parts. All right. Also, it's telling you do not bring the hair towards the face. All right. It covers up the forehead and the eyes, but you'll be able to see the nose. So they want you to pull it back. And the style is select a style where the hair moves away from the face. So you want something that is up in a pony, something that's pulled back, things of that nature. Okay, small nose. Small nose often gives a childlike look. Okay, creating a hairstyle for an adult. That's what we want to do. Design an age-appropriate hairstyle not associated with children. So hairstyles that does not look like a kid hairstyle. Okay, you want to mature up the style. All right. How should hair should be swept off the face, creating a line from the nose to the ear. All right. So you want to pull back from the face. Move the top hair off the forehead to give the illusion of nose length. So pulling it up and back, okay, will make the nose look a little larger. Prominent nose. To draw attention away from the nose, bring the hair forward at the forehead with softness and around the face. So I will activate it with some texture, some pin curls, roller set curls, something super, super cute. The lower third of the face, okay, now we're talking the jaws and the lips, okay, the jaw and the chin. Right, with a round jaw, lines at the jawline. So let's bob it out. Okay, let's try to make a square. Let's try to bring some shape that takes away from the roundness of the face. All right, so let's bob it out. The square jaw, use curved lines. So I'm not going to have prominent bone straight lines here, I'm either going to add some volume, some kind of curl, some kind of feathery action around this square jawline. A long jaw, okay? Hair should be full and fall below the jaw. So I need longer length hair that either comes to the neck, that's in the neck area or longer. Receding chin, okay, that means chin is small and goes back. Move the hair up and away, okay? So receding chin, direct hair forward in the chin area. Small chin, you want the hair up and away from the face along the chin line, all right? You want to make it bigger. Large chin, hair should either be longer or shorter than the chin line to avoid drawing attention to the chin. Let's move over into partings for the bang area. The bang, okay, also called the fringe. Make note, the bang is also called the fringe. All right. The bang is parted into three basic ways. Triangular parting, that's what they did with the money piece yesterday. Triangular parting, okay, it gives us symmetric balance, which means it's even on both sides. Diagonal parting, okay, it swoops over. It gives height to a round or square face, okay, and width to a long, thin face. So diagonal parting, many of us are familiar with diagonal partings. And you see where this diagonal parting is right over the arch area? Well, a lot of times our diagonal partings stretch over. We have overkill on our partings. It's just the style. Curved partings, okay? Diagonal and then it just curves over, kind of like a C. Is used to minimize receding hairline, so not straight, but curve it over, okay? Style partings, center partings. You have four style partings: center part, side part. I don't know what kind of curl, what kind of style is that. Diagonal back, okay? So we have center, side part, diagonal back, and a zigzag part, okay? All right, zigzag creates drama. And I stated yesterday in doing custom coloring and building things for my client. Um, you can do any color design, but I like to use zigzag partings because it helps gives creativity, and no one is able to really go back in and duplicate that because it's done on separate ends. Okay, it's done on separate ends. Each person is going to be different. Let's looking at styling for those who wear glasses. All right. I definitely choose to accentuate the hairstyles. Okay, work with the shape of the temples, the tips, eyeglass frames. I know many of you guys have looked at people with glasses, so those glasses are too small for your face, or they're too big for your face. But also, you have to take into effect that if a person wears glasses, it may change their fringe, it may change their size, it may change overall just how you do the style or what style that you would recommend for them. Says if you choose a short haircut, reconsider the hair's length around the ears. You have to think about the nape. You have to think about the ears. So I always look at my clients' ears, okay? You don't want to just do a big chop and then you discover that the ears are larger than normal. That now becomes a feature that the client may feel uncomfortable about. So I should have kept it longer, at least past the ear, and accentuated another facial feature. So you got to be very careful. Talk to them, ask them what they don't like, what they do like. Look at their ears, look at their sideburns. Okay. It says sideburns primary design element of shorter hairstyles. But you have people who are wearing sideburns in ponytails, straighter styles as well. For me, because I wear glasses, I keep my sideburns kind of short, simply because for me, I guess I remember a time when my glasses used to, I guess, be a little smaller or tighter around the sides, and my sideburn hair would stick out. Okay, and I didn't like it. It was nice, but I also did not like gel product at that time. And I go through different phases of products, but it was not. They were always sticking out, so I always looked like everything else was good. Then you get down to the sideburns, and boom, they start to stick out. Because I don't have baby hair. Never, I don't have baby hair. Okay, so we look at sideburns. Even with a guy, the sideburn can come down and then it'll come out to the face. They call these pork chops. Okay, pork chop. When the sideburn comes down the ear and over to the side, kind of like Elvis, they call those pork chops. All right. Now that's the beginning of the beard, and it has to connect with the mustache area, goatee area, which means the side of the lips, and a chin and the other side. That's how we make a beard. Okay. Guidelines for designing sideburns as follows. Um, let's look at the sideburns density. That's the amount of hair per square inch should blend gradually from hairline into the side sections. And so this is where you don't have complete baldness in one area, but you have a blending of the haircut and also of the beard hair. If it was a lady, it would be a blend of the haircut only. Okay. Um, features. So now you're looking at your features that you're born with on the face, whether they're symmetric or asymmetric. These features help determine what type of sideburns you're going to do. Okay. And then it says sideburns should complement the facial shape. All right. So based on the facial shape, there should be something that is always in place. These are midpoint sideburns. Sideburns that blend into the beard, okay, here. So we're taking all density off, okay? We're not really taking the hair away, but we probably thinned out and blended the sideburn into the beard. I think that's always awesome. And it's sideburn blending into a unstructured beard, which means the beard is heavy and does not have a design line, okay? So here we go. The beard is light to medium, and it has a definite connection from the beard, from the sideburn over into the beard. Okay, it's very sharp, very clean. Here you have a sideburn that's blended, and it's a non-structured beard. That means it's thicker beard. Okay, you'll probably have a bald or no hair, a minimum hair at all, and then you have the sideburn go straight into the beard. This is not a gradual blend. You have no hair, then you go straight into a density impact sideburn. Okay, so a lot of hair. It goes from 0 to 100 real quick. This is an unstructured beard, and then you have pretty much you can call this a structured one. It has a blend. It definitely has design lines. See that? Okay, and it is reduced density. So it's here. It's just not as thick. With this one, it is a blend, okay, but it is a high textured, high density, which means it is full, okay. You can see the majority of the hair is dark, and it's really coming off of no hair on the head, so minimum hair on the head, but there is not like a balance of blending. It's going to go from 0 to 100. Let's look at our glossary, okay. I'm expecting you guys to know these terms. I'm going to do maybe about 10 terms. Okay. I'm going to do 10 terms. I'm going to do about 10 terms. It's the highest point of the top of the head. Tomorrow, we are going to go over terms. I need you to study terms. Teresa, thank you for sending in your homework. Okay, I got something special for you. Remind me tomorrow, please. I'm no longer taking the homework assignment I gave you in class yesterday. That was yesterday. So today's a new day. So thank you, Teresa, for doing your homework assignment, and see me tomorrow in class, okay? The apex. I'm definitely going to make sure you guys know the parts of the head. The apex is the highest point of the top of the head, okay? Asymmetric balance, one side longer than the other side, okay? Asymmetric, okay? Anything that's symmetric is going to be a balance on both sides. Bang area, also called the fringe, okay? You can do triangular parting, okay? So we'll go over the bang area tomorrow as well. All right. Concave, curving inward, convex, curving outward. Okay. Curving inward means that those facial features look like they're kind of sunken in a little bit. And convex is where there looks like those features are protruding outward. Okay. So whereas concave, your nose look like it may be flatter. Convex looks like your nose is sticking out. All right. Same thing with the lips, the eyes. Always learn about your client's profile, because I want to know how, if their hair looks amazing in the front, great. But when someone looks at them from the side, I want them to also feel that their hair is amazing from the side. So you're going to look at, when you're styling, you are going to look at their profiles. Curved lines remind me of C shape. Okay. So we have diagonal curvature. Okay. Semicircular direction used to soften a design. So remember, curved lines would make the design softer. Okay. Diagonal forward, type of diagonal line that creates movement towards the face, and diagonal back is movement away from the face. Okay. Let's look at form. All right. It's just a general outline of someone's facial form. It includes length, width, depth. Okay. Length, width, and depth. Depth is referred to as volume. So you're looking at those three components to learn the form. Hair typing system. As I've told you, it was created to sell product, but hair typing system is actually a term for you guys. Please summarize the term for your test. Okay. It is a group of patterns. Nape, the back part of the neck, hair below the occipital bone. You got to know where the occipital bone to know where the neck is, the nape is. And some people call the nape the kitchen back in the day. Okay. Parietal ridge, the head's widest area. All right. We got to learn that. Where is the parietal ridge? Starting at the temples and ending at the bottom of the crown, also known as the crest area. So we're definitely talking about the parts of the head, especially when we begin to talk about highlights. Reference points. Okay. We basically use facial features. A lot of times in hair cutting, we're not going to be using rulers and things of that nature, but you have to know the facial features. These are reference points. You have to know the parts of the head, because you're going to build, and these are going to be connectors and reminders in your haircuts and hairstyling. So you need to know what's the apex, where's the occipital bone, where's the jawline, okay, the ears, the temple. You need to know about these reference points. Symmetrical balance, okay, balance on both sides, like a traditional bob, balance on both sides. Okay. Transitional lines, usually curved lines that are used to blend and soften horizontal or vertical lines. And so if someone had a hard part, you can go in and try to curve, get some kind of curve to that line that'll soften it up. Tomorrow, guys, really? That's it? All right. Well, Thursday we'll start on chapter 10. Make sure everybody good. Pooja's on the other side. Okay, so we will start with chapter 10 um, on Thursday. So just going over those terms, you need to do that. Let's break it down. Let's see what else we have in our arsenal, guys. Hold on one moment. Okay, let's go down to chapter 9 and see if there's any videos that we missed. So we just went over the partings. We just went over profiles, some reference points. Okay, so now going back in chapter 9. We talked about sideburns, talked about styling for glasses. Yeah, we did pretty good. Okay, awesome. All right, let's look at chapter 10. All right, so just spend a few minutes looking at the objectives. Chapter 10, hair service preparation. I wanted to make sure we finish 9. Whoa, these are some amazing objectives. All right. When you think about hair service preparation, now we're getting ready to service our clients. Okay. Let's look at this picture though. When I talked about activating texture, this is activated texture. Okay. You got some kind of curl, some kind of pattern, some kind of coil. Non-activated texture is going to be bone straight hair, straight, smooth hair. So we have texture that's activated and textures that's non-activated. Okay. It says why study hair surge preparation. Hair surge preparation is gonna probably be on your exam. I got to figure out how many questions as it relates to. But this is talking about preparing a client for service. We can have tons of conversation. Yesterday, Tara was saying that she does the shampoo, the condition, and braid down. We told her that that's a lucrative service. It's a luxury service because a lot of people do not do cleaning of the hair, scalp. Let me tell you guys, you must do your due diligence, and clean the hair and scalp. You cannot service a client with dirty hair and scalp. And for us, doing it in a salon is the best place because number one, when we get started, we need to know what's on the hair. So we will shampoo and condition the hair to know that will give it its firm foundation. That is the foundation. Hygiene of and healthiness of the scalp. Okay, now we begin to move forward with learning about prep and products and then move into styling. But the foundation is going to be shampoo and conditioner. Even though this text calls it cleansing and conditioning the hair and scalp, it's a necessary part of maintaining good health and hygiene. So it's not a pass, it's not a goal, it's not an option. All right. In order for you to have a license, say I'm a licensed cosmetologist, you got to be concerned with the healthiness of this hair and the scalp, not just the style. Okay. There's different shampoos and different conditioners for different things that's going on with a client's hair and scalp. All right. And so in this particular section, we're going to be learning about those different types of shampoos and conditioners um, and how they relate to the client's scalp. Okay. I'm doing a braid certification on the 22nd. And that braid certification mainly consists of me teaching hygiene of the hair and scalp. All right. And so that's a big deal. It says effective hair cleansing, rinsing, and conditioning provides a clean canvas for styling and finishing. Always consider hairstyling texture, lifestyle when making decisions about what type of shampoo, conditioner, and scalp massage service you're going to give. Okay. In addition to removing excess sebum, dirt, debris, environmental debris, and product buildup, a gentle massage, whether done as part of the shampoo or conditioner service or scalp treatment, builds vitality and provides relief to the scalp. So yes, in your shampoo, you're going and your conditioner, you're going to develop your massage techniques. The same thing you would do in the face, but mainly we'll learn how to palm the scalp and take our fingers and cause our fingers, the cushions of our fingers, to do the massaging. There are many apparatus out now that you can have. You can shampoo the hair, but then they have these little massagers that go in and give treatment to the scalp. Okay, let's highlight. It says a scalp massage provides a pleasurable and memorable experience that can build client loyalty, repeat business, and your reputation as a stylist. Yes. All right. I often tell students that your is secured with your shampoo. Okay. So your tip is secured with your shampoo. Learn to give an amazing shampoo service, and you will be set for the rest of your career because they're gonna like how you made them feel when they came in. Okay. You want to offer massage during the shampoo or conditioning process or both, which means you can have your apparatus, maybe your chair massages, something. But it helps secure your tip, but also at the end of the day, it helps relax your client and they may have a busy or a hectic work schedule or just want to get away from kids. It makes them relax. Performing a scalp treatment is also recommended as prescribed intervals based on scalp conditions or required maintenance. This is where you guys are going to learn what shampoos to use, what conditioners to use. They say, well, you need a treatment, a steam treatment. We're gonna learn why. Why do you need a steam treatment? What's the benefit? Okay. These different conditioning treatments for the hair and scalp. What's the benefit? All right. So that's what we're gonna jump into and we're gonna learn. It says even healthy scalp may develop sebum and dirt buildup. That's why the shampoo is so encouraged. All right, it's so encouraged. And scalp treatments are just like facial serum. Okay, if when we do facials at the end, we'll add a facial serum. And so that serum is dedicated to whatever issues we may have seen in the face, whether dry skin, whether wrinkles, whether dark spots, and things of that nature. We would treat that at the end of throughout the service, and then we'll have the serum at the end. You guys, hold on. Okay, I apologize, guys. I have another training this weekend. People are trying to register. Okay, so yeah, this in your scalp treatments, which enlarges your territory if you are a cosmetologist, because a heavy percentage of your income would come from treatments of the hair and scalp. All right. Many people you see are taking hair loss, additional hair loss training, so on and so on. The scalp treatments are just like if you were going to do a facial. The facials are based on what's going on, the problems, the issues with the skin. So the scalp treatments are based on what's going on with the face. What's going on with the hair and scalp? How do we make it better? How do we maintain a healthy scalp? We know what it's supposed to look like, but these other issues are coming up. How do we bring these issues all the way back down? Okay. And so it says scalp treatments are encouraged to maintain a healthy scalp environment or correct minor conditions. Minor conditions. Okay. And when we've seen this before, talking about the hair and scalp. Minor conditions. You may have a scalp treatment for excess oil. They have an oily scalp, a dry scalp, mild forms of dandruff. So anything like that is going on with the hair and scalp, we have a problem. You're going to have to really find a treatment for these clients. These issues causes the hairstyle to be secondary. These become primary. Okay. And so I'm telling you, when we talk about products and making products and formulas, this will be a great place. Make products for oily scalp. Make a product for dry scalp. Make a product for dandruff or dandruff related treatments, dandruff related issues. It says cosmetology, and we always see this on our check in. Why do I need to study? Let me tell you something. In Tennessee, you do not have to have a license to be a shampoo tech. It used to be back in the day, but you do not have a license to be a shampoo tech. Everybody get me? So everybody at this moment can go into a salon and become a shampoo tech. When you guys finish your theory hours, which is 750 hours, you will be able to go, you can go into a salon now and be a shampoo tech. But when you finish your 750 hours, you're going to go take the theory part of your exam. Theory. Okay. When you take the theory part of your exam, then you pass it. You can go into the salon and you'll be working in the salon. Ms. Cox, by the state of Tennessee, I will give you paperwork that has to be at your station. You have a name tag and you will need to wear the uniform. Okay. But you will be considered an apprenticeship student. You'll be a student in practice. You can do anything your mentor allows you to do in the salon. The only thing is on paper, you're a student, but you are still the same cosmetologist that they are. Okay. You get hours for being at the salon. You get hours for working. So you can be, and the state does not determine if you get paid or not. You're basically getting the hours. But if your mentor chooses to, y'all agree. Ms. Cox don't have nothing to do with payment. If y'all agree on a payment, that means you can get hours and I'm getting paid to shampoo and I'm getting paid to do just basic sanitation. And I just have to watch this person do certain styles, so on and so on. I'm getting paid and I'm getting hours. That's the plus. That's the flex. If you already know how to do some hair and styles, then that mentor can say, hey, in your booth, go ahead and take clients. They can also say that because you're in their salon, you can do commission. Okay. And I like commission. I love commission, y'all. I love commission because at the end of the day, you don't have to pay booth rent. You probably don't have to buy products or supplies. You don't have to do a lot of marketing. The people will just come, you'll perform the service, and you'll get anywhere between, I don't want to say what it is now, but most of the time, 40 to 60% of the service. All right. But remember, that's a bonus because if you were in school, you wouldn't be getting anything. And so I'm excited about that. Let's look at why. The shampoo service is the first opportunity to establish your position as a professional who attends to your client's specific needs. Maybe we need to go into the shop and find out if they need shampoo takes. I may do that today when I go by to school to see if they need any shampoo techs. And maybe one day y'all come check in the school and I see y'all down there to work at those shops as a shampoo tech, just to see how well you do. Then product category knowledge allows you to recommend the best preparations and services to the client. Here's the thing: when you see the word preparations, y'all, that's a back in the day word. It means products. Preparations, shampoo and conditioner. It means product. Okay, it's an old school word. So product category. So you have to have product knowledge. Why are we using this product? What's it for? Give me a benefit. Okay, so you're this is where also your client is telling you everything that they've been using, and you're saying, and why are you using all that? And why you got to use 10 products to get a quarterly set? Again, tell me why you using dandruff shampoo and you don't get dandruff. Okay. Dandruff shampoo is alkaline based and it's a severe alkaline base that it pulls off oil moisture from the scalp. It's formulated to pull the dandruff away from the scalp. Formulated to pull away from the scalp. Okay. So if you're using the dandruff shampoo and don't have any issues of the scalp, it is going to pull your natural moisture away from the scalp. So it's going to create you to have this dry scalp. You're going to cause a problem by using improper products. Okay. It says you will be to examine and identify hair and scalp conditions that require referral to a physician. So some things you'll be able to treat, some things you will not. You will need to forward certain individuals to see a physician. And then you are a hairdresser, cosmetologist first, okay? If something is outside of your scope of practice, do not be afraid to say, hey, you need to go see a dermatologist. Hey, you need to go see a trichologist. Just go see your general practitioner, okay? You got to be okay with that. Okay. This is also something I want you to relate. There's a 3-part client service process. 3 parts to your client service process. Y'all gonna see this on your test. 3 parts. Pre-service. Pre-service is you setting up your stuff. You're preparing your client. Pre-service. Requested service. Now I'm doing what my client wants me to do. I'm actually working on the client. Post service is after the client is finished. What are we doing? Okay. So pre service, the setup. Requested service, I'm working. Post service, afterwards. All right. So there's a 3-part client service process. Let's look at part 3. Okay. Highlighting the whole thing in yellow. The pre-service procedures and organized step-by-step plan for cleaning and disinfecting your implements, making sure your clients have clean tools, assembling materials, everything I need to perform the service, organizing your station. It needs to be where I can get to it easily. I don't anything unnecessary got to go. And meeting your client. This is the time to perform an effective client consultation to gain information about the service. All of this is pre-game. Okay. Before we even start, if you take your client straight to the chair, you've already messed up. Okay. Because when you take the client to the chair or to the facial bed, the client is saying, well, forget about all that stuff we needed to talk about. We ain't even discussed price. She was going to do it for free. Okay. So you have to take the time for pre service. And remember, consultation should not be in the area that they're going to get service. If you're in a suite, you need to have a chair over to the side where you and that client can sit and talk before you move them over to the bed. Okay. You're talking, you're learning about their hair, you're looking at it. Okay. You're having conversation. You're set up, you're ready to go, but you need to have a conversation with the clients first. Okay. Part two, service procedure. Yellow. Organized step-by-step plan for accomplishing the actual service the client has requested, such as shampoo, haircut, hair coloring, and or chemical service. All right. The service procedure, organized step-by-step plan for accomplishing the actual service. Okay. Requested, such as a shampoo, haircut, hair coloring. We are doing the service. Post service. The post service highlighted in yellow. Organized step-by-step plan for caring for the client after the procedure has completed. You will help the client through the scheduling. This is the thing. The client does not just walk out the door. You talk to the client about the next appointment, scheduling, your payment process, okay? And allows you to choose the service by offering booking dates and retail home care purchases. So, three things we're doing. One, we're rescheduling them. Okay, this is how we build clientele. Two, we're making sure the payment process is easy. Do not do all of this money into marketing and having a great look. And then it's so hard for people to pay you. Find an easy process that you will take payments, okay? And allow you, okay? So we have the rebooking, the rescheduling, we have an easy finding the flow in the payments. Okay. And we're educating the clients about retail products. So we're also possibly selling the client retail products. I tell everybody, every client walks away with something. Every client walks away with something. Okay. You're telling the client about, for me, I tell the clients about products every time that they are in a chair. I got this works well for you. This will be great for you to use at home. Um, I think when you come in here, let's start to prep. And if I'm talking hair, guys, everybody buys a leave-in conditioner. Everybody has a small shampoo and conditioner as well. Because when you can't get to me, I need to know what you're using at home. Everybody's going to get a scalp analysis. Okay? That's just something we do. Everybody's going to get a scalp analysis. All right. And so let's pick up on client consultation. Okay. Client consultation Thursday. We're going to pick up on client consultation. We're on page 207. Let's pick up on client consultation on Thursday. Tomorrow we have state board prep. I don't want to get too far from 9. I was just introing on 10. Tomorrow we have state board prep. Come in ready to go. I'm going to have the table organized. You guys are going to come in and go straight to your seat. Okay? Come in and go straight to your seat. I am going to demo the service, the state board prep, and then you guys will execute. And we'll continue to do that until we have mastered it. Okay. And so that's what I want you to concentrate on tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be working with rods. You got to show 5 rods for the permanent wave, at least 5 rods. So we're going work on the rod set per wave. We're going to work on the color application per wave. And for those that did not get the opportunity to do the money piece, you'll be doing the money piece as well. Okay. And so I'm excited about that. I also will have aesthetics in the house, but I'm going to start with you, get you going, and then I'm going to move over to skincare. All right. So super, super amazing. I'm super excited about State Board Prep Wednesdays. Okay. Wear your t-shirts or your uniform. Pooja don't have a t-shirt, but wear your t-shirts tomorrow. All right. Tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have I'm gonna check on your t-shirt. She was sick over the weekend, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
check and see did she get your shirt done. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Y'all have a blessed and amazing day. Good job, guys. We finished chapter 9. We introed into 10. And
Mhm.
Thursday, we'll pick up on client consultation. So let's go. It's a great progress, and we're moving towards, we're going to have our free chapters done before Christmas setting. All right. See you guys with hours tomorrow in person because I want you to sign off on them. Okay. Y'all be blessed. Bye.
Bye.
Have a great day.
You too.